Today we are going to be drawing 3D hearts. Today is going to be the first technique, so we're going to learn the first technique to drawing 3D hearts, the first way to do it. Next week next week or the week after, depending on when I'm back. Well, actually not the week after, but next week, whatever the case, we'll be learning the technique. But today we're going to learn the first way to do it. So today we will learn the first way to draw a 3D heart. We're going to practice and draw the 3D hearts, and then when we're done with that, we're going to color and shade the hearts drawn. So let's get started. So the first step to drawing a 3D heart is, and a video link is included at the bottom, so if you need to check that link out to have a little bit more of a clear representation. And I've also just uploaded one that I also have, but here, I'll show you the link. But the problem with it is that it's a little bit more sideways, so it should be a little more complicated, or maybe you might be able to see it, but regardless, there is a link there. But so what you're going to do is you're going to draw a normal heart. Just draw a regular heart. And by the way, before I start, one thing that I would recommend to do it on when you're drawing it is grid paper. I mean, you can use regular paper, but if you're going to be drawing multiple hearts, and if you want to see side by side where you're going to draw it to, then grid paper would I definitely do recommend grid paper. But regardless, you're going to draw a normal heart, and then on the left, after you're done with that normal heart, the first one, you're going to, on the left edge of that heart, the left edge, you're going to draw a line. And, you know, the video at the bottom, right over here, shows them using a ruler or something of, they're using a typewriter, but you're probably not going to need to do that. You can just draw a line knowing you'll be able to draw a line that's about the size of your finger, but probably know what the size of your finger is, so you're probably not going to need to draw it with your finger, but just draw a size of that finger, of your finger, because that's just saying that's just the size that it is. So in the middle of the heart, after you're done with that one, right in the middle of the heart, you're going to draw another line going up. So that will leave the middle heart, and then on the right edge of the heart, after you're done with drawing the middle one, on the right edge, right at the end, you're going to draw a line, and they should all be pointing upwards. They should be slightly tilted, but somewhat upwards as well. So once you're done with that, as soon as that one's done, you should have all three lines, and then you're going to go straight to the one on the right edge. So once the line on the right edge is drawn, connect that line with the middle line. So you're going to connect the right end line, the edge line on the right edge line, you're going to connect it with the middle line, and once those two lines are connected, you're going to connect the middle line, right in the middle, with the line on the left, and that should make another 3D way to draw that heart. So once again, it should be pretty simple. You should be able to do that, and then once you're done with that, once you're done with that one, that shouldn't be the only one. Just practice drawing a few different 3D hearts with that same technique. Definitely, like I said, definitely use, I would recommend graph paper, grid paper, since it's a lot easier to do that, and it might be a little bit easier to help draw those lines as well, because you know where the grid grid lines are. But either way, once the first heart is drawn, draw some other hearts on the paper as well, and it helps clear up the empty space, and will probably help you become a little bit more confident in skills that are improving as well. So if you do that, it should be easier. And plus, it does require multiple hearts. So once you have all those multiple hearts, and make sure they are all drawn in 3D. Don't just draw regular hearts and then say, once you're done with your first one, oh, well, that's basically, no, well, I don't need to do any more 3D. No, make sure they are all in 3D. And after that, once you use that technique with those, and after you've drawn multiple ones, what you're going to do, the next step is to fill them in. So, and you can make sure to also add shade in there as well, especially towards some of the end lines and marks of each heart. And you can use colored pencils or markers in a way, but I would definitely recommend colored pencils, since it's easier to shade and it looks a lot neater and would look better shaded, and you could probably see it a little bit better that way. So that's definitely one thing that I would recommend. So be sure to fill them in. I would obviously use red, and I'm sure that a couple of the students would probably like using red as well. So use that. Red and black. Black for the shade would be probably the most recommended. So that should be today's class, and once everybody is done with that, um, I guess the other thing left to do is you can decide whatever, just after they're done, make sure they could maybe draw some more on just a regular sheet of paper or color something in, whatever the case. But that is today's art class, drawing 3D hearts, and the next time I'm there, I will definitely show the other technique as well. So